Baba, for this full country, so where we dey as of now, this full country where we dey, so no one person is supporting Tinubu's decision. No. Even Tinubu, I just say him himself not support your own decision. I was watching Arise News this morning. Reuben Abati say make National Assembly impeach President Tinubu. He say he had committed, he has insulted the Constitution. So the National Assembly should sit this morning and move a motion to impeach the president. And the president does not have respect for the rule of law. Let's listen to him.
Very quickly, let me first come in from an interpretation of the Constitution, which the president himself highlighted. He said he was acting within the purview of Section 305 of the Constitution. Section 305 of the Constitution explains the circumstances under which the president shall declare a state of emergency. And the conditions are properly stated. The country is facing a threat of war or imminent war. Is Nigeria facing the threat of war?
No.
In Rivers State? That's one question. It also talks about, a situation whereby something could happen in any part of the federation where, Nigeria could find itself in a chaotic situation. Okay. The president is required to act. Number 3, where the governor in that particular state does not immediately respond, to the crisis situation and does not approach the president to act in the national interest. So those conditions are properly spelled out. However, that same Section 305 says that the president, will give a proclamation which will be gazetted, and then will go to the National Assembly. Yeah. And the National Assembly, if it's in session within, I think, 48 hours, would act. If it's in recess, within 10 days, will act. If the National Assembly does not consider that particular proclamation, gazetted proclamation, valid, then it will vote otherwise. 2/3 majority of the two houses, the Senate and the House of Representatives, and if that happens, the decision is abated. Okay? Now, because we are constrained by time. Let me now say that Section 305, which the president quoted, is the operative principle. Yeah. Now, let's look at what the president said. I think that the president has violated the Constitution, even within the purview of Section 305. And he has violated the Constitution because he was not properly advised to respect that section of the Constitution. In what regard did he violate that section of the Constitution? In fact, he acted as the dictator by saying that the administrator that he has appointed can make regulations and laws will be made for the Rivers State House of Assembly henceforth by the Federal Executive Council.
No, not laws.
The Federal Executive Council does not have such powers. Section 11 of the same Constitution says that, look, when there is a state of emergency, it's only the National Assembly that can make laws for the State House of Assembly. Now, President Tinubu has appropriated unto himself
the powers to make laws.
Powers to make laws for the Rivers State House of Assembly. That's an impeachable offense. I don't know whether the National Assembly will have the courage either to reject his gazetted proclamation or to proceed on an issue of impeachment against him, violating the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria.
They're not born their way.
Now, the other relevant portion of the Constitution is Section 188. Section 188 of the Constitution spells out how a governor can be removed from office. A governor cannot be removed from office by the proclamation of the President of Nigeria.
It cannot.
It can only be removed if there is gross misconduct, as put as an allegation by the House of Assembly, and then the CJ is advised to form a panel of reasonable people, people of distinguished qualities in the state. And if that panel now decides within the purview of Section 188 that those allegations are wrong, that puts an end to that process. The president has not followed that. He has acted unilaterally. Section 1, subsection 2 of the same constitution says that this country called Nigeria cannot be governed except by the provisions of the constitution. There is no provision in the 1999 constitution that says that the president of Nigeria can unilaterally remove a governor, remove the deputy governor, remove the legislature of a state in Nigeria. So again, that proves that this is a violation of the constitution. I go to the third leg of my analysis, which is to say that who advised the president? The people who advise the president must be called to order.
Okay.
Lateef Fagbemi, SAN, is a very distinguished lawyer.
Okay.
I don't understand how Lateef Fagbemi, SAN, arrived at this advice. And I also say that retired Vice Admiral Ibokete Ibas, if he's a patriot and a citizen, he must reject this appointment, making him sole administrator of Rivers State, because it is a wrong appointment and his own integrity has been called to order. Whatever may be the motivations, he must act as a citizen and issue a statement forthwith to say that he will not be party to the violation of the constitution.
Yes.
Now, what argument are they putting up? It has been said that, Obasanjo did this when he was president. After all, he removed Dari in Plateau, he removed Fayose in Ekiti. Look, at that time, Akinolu Jimi, SAN, who was Attorney General, was relying, I think, on the 1960 Constitution.
Why?
The explanation that he offered, that the 1960 Constitution and the emergency, the Declaration of State Emergency Act of 1961 allowed the federal government to remove a governor or remove a legislature.
Was using 1961 Constitution?
Because at the time he was making that statement, with due respect, the operative law in Nigeria
was the 1999 Constitution.
Either the and it was the 1999 Constitution. So Akinolu Jimi saying it was 1960 Constitution, 1961 Declaration of Emergency Act was just using political expediency to justify the illegality that President Obasanjo engaged in.
Okay.
And people who are quoting the Obasanjo president must realize that an armed robber cannot say that because one armed robber got away with it, so you also have a right to commit armed robbery. That is wrong. The second point that I would like to make, again with due respect, is that people have been referring to the Jonathan period, that Jonathan declared state of emergency in about 3 states of the Federation, Adamawa, Borno, I think Yobe. Now, that argument has been settled by Mohammed Bello Aduke, who was Attorney General of that time, in his book, The Burden of Service. I don't remember the specific pages. Okay. But as a reviewer of that book, I reviewed that book on the back page of this. I recall that Mohammed Aduke argued that there is nowhere in the Constitution that the president is empowered, that's 1979, 1999 Constitution, that the governor is, the president is empowered to remove a sitting governor or remove a sitting House of Assembly. And that was why under President Jonathan, no governor was removed, no deputy governor was removed, no state House of Assembly was sacked, no local government chairman was even removed in those 3 states. So the people who are just making argument about president, they are speaking out of ignorance. And I recommend Adoke's book for them to find that explanation. Having dealt with the legal framework of this conundrum in which we have found ourselves, yesterday I wrote a piece, back page of this day newspaper, in which I said President Tinubu should take charge of the situation in Rivers.
Yeah.
I was reminding him of the crisis in the Western region, First Republic, the Wild Wild West, 1962, the crisis between Adigbenro and Akintola, and when Tafawa Balewa, appointed Majeko Dume as sole administrator. The 1960 Constitution allowed Tafawa Balewa to so act. But I said President Tinubu should not allow history to repeat itself. I expected that in intervening, even despite the fact that there have been violations of the pipelines, and Ijaw Youth Congress is saying they will sabotage Nigeria economically, I expected President Tinubu to still act within the province of the law. And that's why I say he has been misadvised. And I think Vice Admiral Ibok Iteibas should not take this appointment. I also think that the National Assembly should reject this proclamation if it is so presented, and not act within its reputation as a rubber stamp National Assembly. The president should be properly advised so that we can have peace in this environment.
Okay.
That's the watchword, peace, and that's why the president has said he has had to take this very difficult decision to declare a state of emergency in Rivers State in the interest of peace and to promote law and order. In terms of the National Assembly, they have said that they'll be meeting today to deliberate and to whether pass the motion or not. All eyes will then be on the opposition. We have to remember that the APC has a very small margin of majority in both houses, in the House of Representatives and the Senate. So let's see if we will now hear the voice of the opposition loudly, as their leaders have come out, including Atiku Abubakar, Chief Bode George, the PDP in itself have come out to condemn this move by the president, saying that it is unconstitutional. Absolutely. The NBA has also written an initial response to the declaration of a state of emergency, also saying that it is unconstitutional, citing the reasons given in Section 305 of the Constitution as not having been met, questioning whether or not River State is in that state where it would fit into the areas that have been determined for declaration of a state of emergency by the president.
Okay, so all eyes now is on the Senate. We're expecting the Senate to upturn the decision of the president, but they will not. I'm not sure they will. But nobody can tell me. We'll just wait it today. You see that Senate, President Tinubu hold them for blockers. The Senate and the House of Rep. It is obvious. Every time President Tinubu they call something budget, the way they sing, he praise. Go APC, PDP, Labour Party, SDP, everybody go to hail him. He hold those people. That night by 9, never even tell them before he take the decision he took yesterday. But let's wait till they deliberate today. That's one. Secondly, Reuben Abati say, make Vice Admiral Ibok reject the appointment to they give her. If not you go reject the appointment. If not you, do you know what it means? That Vice Admiral Ibok, now I pray and I go to answer. So, whether you like it or not, if they upturn the position of the president today, Vice Admiral Ibok is registered as one of the governors of Rivers State. Everything due to a past governor in Gugeta, everything. It's happened in Delta State. When the court made Sam Obi the acting governor, the same court declared that Sam Obi is a former governor. So everything where they give former governor, they'll give him. So if V.A. Ibok just stay there 1 week, even 2 days, when they come out today, he is a former governor. So now I pray and I God do answer so. As far as it's concerned, it's all right. Let's see if the Senate and the House of Rep will have the balls to do the right thing. So in all of this, everybody agrees that the president has the power to declare a state of emergency, but we think he had gone too far. What we don't agree with is if he has the power to remove the sitting governor, the deputy governor, and the elected legislature members, which are the House of Assembly members. Everybody is against him for that one.